Awesome. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, trans and non-binary punks of all ages and denominations, welcome to the very first episode in a new series for Not Just a Phase called 30 Minutes or Less. Pretty self-explanatory. This hour, sorry, has 30 minutes or less. And today we will be talking with the new Iowa City Screamo act, This World Is Not Kind. They kicked off my new year on January 3rd, I believe is when it debuted, and it's an EP that's a heavy contender for EP of the year for myself so far. And they've been nominated for two Skrammy Award categories this year. Um, they're nominated for Best New Jacks of 2025 and Best Screamo EP of 2025 for their EP release titled Death. Their style is frantic, full of hostile blasts, which is part of their charm. Their chaos will knock you down with tidal waves of thick distortion and hissing feedback. Breakdowns are smashing through walls and sound barriers with cymbals and screams of anguish that just storm over their sonic tornado. And it's all juxtaposed by moments of serene and tranquil emo that will warm you up on the inside, the calm after the storm, if you will. This band has literally everything I want in Screamo, including the use of trumpets on their songs. I cannot stress that enough. Today, I am beyond excited to chat with one of their members so we can get into their lore, how the band was formed, and where they're headed this year. So, welcome to the very first Not Just a Phase. This hour has 30 minutes or less. Laela is joining us today. So, I guess I should start off by saying, sorry, what's your name and what role is it that you play in the band?
So I'm Laela, as you just said, and I do the vocals and also the trumpets.
Well, perfect. I got the trumpet player on the show. I did not know
Mhm.
that. Oh, I got to start the timer. My apologies.
This hour
Almost
has
fucked it up.
31 minutes or less.
No, we're counting down now. So as soon as that clock runs out, we're fucked. So I won't take up too much of your time. I want to get some information here. Um,
Mhm.
Outside of music, what are you doing in your free time?
Oh, that's a good question. So a lot of it is music, and I also spend a lot of time, working as a stagehand and a barista. I'm getting back involved in Iowa City Mutual Aid, so community gardening, like homeless camp outreach, stuff like that. Um, that kind of thing is very important to me, like political work. Um, yeah, but I mean, honestly, like music kind of is my main hobby. I'm in this band, I'm in another band. Uh, I book shows.
What's the other
Like
band? If we're gonna do name
it's it's
dropping
a
here.
it's a, hardcore punk band called PSYOP. I play bass in it.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So how did you first get into alternative music genres? Did you start with punk rock or what was your first taste
What's
into the
like
underground?
alternative, like indie rock,
Mm,
probably in high school. Like I kind of got. I'm from Ames, Iowa originally, and like there's kind of like there at least was just kind of like an indie music scene there, like there kind of was everywhere in the like mid 2010s, and I would like go to some shows every so often. I'd go to a lot of like jam sessions and stuff. um as far as like listening to stuff outside of like local music, I definitely took the like pop punk to screamo, or pop punk to like Midwest emo to screamo pop pipeline of getting into this type of music. Like when I was like 18 years old, my favorite band in the world was Pierce the Veil, and I literally learned to scream by like screaming along to Pierce the Veil in my car.
very sick. Very sick. So what's the Iowa scene like these days where you're located?
So, I mean, Iowa like really has the two big scenes in Iowa are Iowa City and Des Moines. Ames has stuff going on. Waterloo has stuff going on. Cedar Rapids has like thrash metal if you care about that. But like, Iowa City is a punk town, and Des Moines is like a hardcore town. So like that would be like the main like difference between those two. Like you'll see a lot of acts coming through. Like Des Moines is a far bigger city, so like when the big hardcore bands come through, like they just had like the Torture Balmora Sanction tour like come through Des Moines or whatever. But like when it's like queer acts, punk stuff, like that all comes to Iowa City. The Iowa City scene is like extremely trans. Like almost all the bands have trans people in them. Um, a lot of us are like sober and vegan and such and that kind of stuff. Like um several of us are like vegan straight edge here, but even the people who aren't like, as dogmatic about that as I am are still like we generally have like pretty sober shows. A lot of our house venues here are sober spaces. It's really cool. There's a lot of like trans youth that are getting involved in the scene right now. People certainly under 21 and sometimes even under like 18 are coming to shows and starting bands, and it's really cool. I feel like the scene is as big as it's been for like several years. I moved to Iowa City back in October of 23. I was involved in the scene here for like several months before that when I was living in Ames in central Iowa. And so like um I I would say that like the scene is like what brought me to Iowa City. And it's like kind of popping off now in a way it hasn't in like a long time here. Like,
On the come up, you'd say.
I mean, it's here. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming up, but it's here. Like, we have
Nice.
we put out our new EP on January 3rd. I'm actually gonna attend a release show tonight for my homies in Thought Wrong, which is like Iowa City's like one like, at least like long standing like hardcore band. Like they're pretty thrashy, but they put like, like it's like hardcore dancing music and such. They're putting out they just dropped an EP today. They're having a tape release show tonight that I'm going to. My bandmate and my other band, Psyop, drums and Thought Wrong as well, and I'm really excited for that. My roommate is in a band called Fear Boner, which is like it's all younger kids. Like everyone in that band is like under 21, I think, and they're really silly. They're making their own like they have their like
Excellent
silly
name.
brand of hardcore. They do like bits. It's really fun.
That sounds
They just put
awesome.
out a tape that's a split with a local hardcore punk, kind of like Oi influenced hardcore punk band called Burger, which also shares a member with my other band, Psyop. The guitarist from Psyop also plays guitar in Burger. Um, yeah, there's like a lot of bands dropping new music right now. The homies in Flowerfield have just recorded, and they're going to be dropping a new um, their first EP sometime soon. They also they kind of started out pretty sludgy, but they're kind of moving towards just hardcore punk. There's a lot of cool like, and like all these bands have like trans and queer people in them and such. Like, and I'm just talking about like the ones that are like kind of new and up and coming. Like everyone in Iowa City or the surrounding area knows about Boot Camp, which is like kind of the big band here right now as far as like the hardcore scene goes. And like,
Yeah, I was going to ask about favorite newer bands, and they don't have to be exclusively Iowa, because I'm thinking I'm going to make this series focus on newer bands for now,
let me
anyways.
think
Who knows if
outside
that'll
of
change, but just newer
Iowa.
bands that you're rocking with. Doesn't have to be inside Iowa, inside outside. It's all good.
I mean, there's all those ones. There's uh I mean, obviously, like they're not like a big secret or anything, but I'm fucking with Rosemary Nods Upon the Grave a lot. Um,
Same, same. We did a piece for them. They're fantastic.
I guess band like they're technically well if they're newer than us, they count as new. So I'm gonna put the homies and the names of our friends on here too. Like I feel like people
Yes.
know that band as well, but
Yes.
they're
Yeah,
fucking
newer
sick.
is like any like last 2 years kind of shit. Like whatever's newer ish. Doesn't have to be like last month, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a
Fuck
band
is
I'm really excited to see that's not existent yet that I'm not sure I'm supposed to talk about, but
oh, don't do it then, because I'm not
there's
making
an
any
there's
edits. I'm
but
not
but
doing
there's
any
a
edits
there's
on this
a
shit.
there's a upcoming Milwaukee Screamo band, and I'm really excited for them to announce their first show. And it's got like it's just a bunch of my homies, and just keep your eyes peeled for that because
Absolutely will. Absolutely will. Okay. So how did your band form? How did This World Is Not Kind come together?
well, honestly, this isn't the first band I've been in. And when I was like knew I was moving to Iowa City, I was already like a part of the scene here. Like I was coming down multiple times a month for shows. I already knew people in the scene. And so I just like started putting out feelers like, hey, who wants to be in a Screamo band? Jackie, our guitarist, was already like a really good friend of mine. And like we had been planning to make music together for a long time. So we just needed like a drummer and a bassist. And so like we just kind of put out feelers. Um, we ended up having some people who did not stick around for the band to, like long enough to actually play shows with us. Um, but like we had this guy named Ethan signed up to play drums, and this girl named Charlotte signed up to play bass. And Brandon, our current drummer, was actually playing the second guitar at first. We had two guitars for our first like couple practices. And literally the day I moved here, like I moved here in Iowa City on October 1st, and that's the day we had our first practice. Like um we so that was like we had that like lineup for like a little bit, which was like Ethan on drums and Charlotte on bass and Jackie on guitar, Brandon on guitar, me on vocals. But like we didn't really get very far with that lineup. We never like got anywhere near playing a show. We didn't write like that much music. Um, Fun fact is that the guitar chords, a lot of the guitar parts in The Ghost of You were actually originally written by Brandon on guitar, and they've changed a lot since then. But like the chord structures for that song, especially the intro part, were developed actually by our drummer Brandon. But um,
It is a fun fact.
let's think. And then Ethan moved out of town, and like this is all like December of 2023, or yeah, probably. And like Ethan moved out of town, and so Brandon's like, "Hey, I've always wanted to play drums," and just like literally started like, he had never played drums that seriously before, but like he's just like, "Yeah, I'll make the switch," and starts learning more about playing drums. And Charlotte had to drop out too, so we got Glab to come in on bass, and it's been a match made in heaven. Like I love my bandmates. I love the lineup we have. It's really sick. Um, and yeah,
Oh
we
yeah.
we played our first show on March 23rd with our homies from the World in Broken Glass out of Chicago. Um, they're one of my favorite bands. They're uh, all trans screamo band that's like really putting on for the scene there. They've put on a fest last September called Heavy Extreme Midwest Fest that we played. We played a battle set with them there at that fest in Chicago. They're just like they really have their finger on the pulse of like especially like the very queer side of like the modern screamo scene, and like it was really cool to rip our first show with them. And
It is sick. So, in your own words, what would you say your band is all about?
um, for me, it's about catharsis. Like it's especially like so on Death, I'm the one who wrote all the lyrics for all the songs on Death. We have some other songs written now that we're playing in shows and will eventually release that other members wrote. But like, those lyrics are all about like fucked up shit that has happened. Oh, can I swear? That's all about like
Oh,
fucked up
sorry.
shit that's
It's a
happened in
punk
my
show.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
haven't heard Not Just a Face podcast before, I take it. You can definitely swear.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so it's just like all about shit that fucks up my life, or like
yeah.
fucked up shit that's happened or whatever. Like
Traumatic shit, right?
you have Joy is about my dear friend Quinn, who uh tragically took her own life last January.
I'm
And it's
sorry to
it's
hear that.
it's yeah, it's been a rough time. It's but specifically if you like look at the lyrics of that song, like it's not really a eulogizing too much. I'm not like trying to write to like that part of you know grieving. I have other outlets for, like I have friends who knew her, we went to the funeral, etc. The what I tend to scream about is like the guilt and the like the other feelings that I can't shake. Let's see. The Ghost of You is about a friend of mine who overdosed on opioids and died at the age of 18 back in like 2017. Daddy Issues
Oh,
Car Crash
had
is
some of
about
those.
Daddy Issues Car Crash is about my dad driving drunk and crashing his car and dying when I was 20 before I was ever able to come out to him as trans. That's why it's like he never got to know my name because I never came out to him.
Okay. Wow.
Uh,
Heavy, heavy EP, not just
yeah, yeah,
instrumentally. Jesus.
yeah.
Wow.
Object oriented polyamory is about just like a relationship I was in where I got treated like absolute shit, I felt like. And then Traders is about like um, sexual violence like within the trans community, like perpetrated by like trans people against other trans people. It's about a couple
Heavy
people in
subject
specific, but
matter.
also more
Right.
generally about like rapists and abusers in the community.
Jesus. So the lyrical content is just as heavy as the instrumental, clearly. That's quite a lot there.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask what inspires your writing and creative process, but it feels like you've covered it there.
Yeah, I mean the album is called, or the EP is called Death because that's what that's what the songs are about. And even the ones that aren't about like, someone I love dying, it's like, an object oriented polyamory. I just keep screaming like, would you even care if I died? Because it felt like she wouldn't. And traitors, I straight up tell these, traitors to my community to off themselves.
Damn. Well, this is never an easy job for me, but it's going to be a hard pivot here. What's been your favorite show or tour memory as a band so far on a
Oh,
what should
that's
be a happier note, I presume?
we had some we haven't done a lot of touring. We have
Didn't you say it was just the first, you just did your first show not too long ago? So you've only played like a handful of shows so far, correct?
I mean, so it's been a little over a year. We played that March show, March of 24. We played a lot of local shows. The only out of town shows we've played once in Des Moines with Hers Collective. We played the Heavy
Okay.
Extreme Midwest Fest in Chicago last September. We did embark on a tour in January, and we played a sick show in Minneapolis with all the homies. And then on our way to um, the Milwaukee date, which was supposed to be the second day of like a 3-day weekender, one of us popped positive on a COVID test, and we canceled those shows or dropped out of those shows and just came home, which really sucked. But
It's a
I'd say
bummer.
my two favorite shows we've played were in January 4th. We had a free release show for Death. Um, it was just all local bands. It was with Burger and Flowerfield and Fear Boner, and we played in like a
God, I love
basement
that name.
venue. I know, right?
So
I'm
fucking
actually wearing
silly.
their hat, but you can't really
No
tell because
way.
the Fear Boner hat. I'm repping the
Yo, shout out Beer Boner.
repping the
Sick,
roommates.
sick name. So sick.
But
Yeah.
that show was like that set was just like so fun because like all the locals who like have been supporting us since we started being a band, like we're just like super hyped. Like everyone was at that show. I was like crowd surfing topless while screaming without a mic. I was like, holding out the mic, and like so many people mic grabbed during that show. Like that was a really sick one. And then also we played our homies in Mold, which is a Minneapolis screamo band, um, put on a fest in January also at the Flying V in Minneapolis called a Fudge Fest like 2 or 3 or something like that. Um, and we played with a ton of sick bands there. Um, but like our set there was like probably the best set we've ever played. And it was just like they go hard in Minneapolis. Like people were absolutely throwing down, especially like traders. Like I saw someone like crowd killing the edge of a pit during traders, and I was like, hell yeah, that's what this song is for, honestly.
Oh shit. Yeah. Heavy track. I love that. Not a lot of screamo shit that I'd pop off for in terms of like actually hardcore dancing or crowd killing anybody, but I'd risk a conky for that one. I fuck with that, as you know. Um, moving along quickly because I don't know how much time we have. If I check the timer, it pauses the Instagram recording. I found out, so I'm gonna have to change that up for episode 2. But what's your most unpopular music take?
Um, so like unpopular within like the like screamo community, punk community, and such. I think
Unpopular
Stadium.
just in general. If
I
you
think
don't like
Stadium
a famous
Arcadium by
artist,
Red Hot Chili Peppers is a great album.
I would agree, but I don't know if that's
Okay, maybe that's not that unpopular.
well. I have plenty of unpopular music takes. That's how this question came to fruition.
What's
So
another
don't
one?
take my word for it.
I fucking hate Radiohead,
Oh, me too. Fuck Radiohead. Yeah, hell yeah. Garbage.
but I really like Coldplay's first 4 albums.
Okay, well, you fucked up there. That's weird. Uh,
Okay, there we go. I
you're on
found one you disagree with.
you're on a hot streak there. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, fellow Radiohead hater. Let's go.
I can't stand Radiohead, and people are like, "Well, why do you like Coldplay if you don't like Radiohead?" I'm like, "Because it's better."
Somebody in the chat saying Stadium Arcadium's goated.
Oh, that's Lottie. She mastered our EP.
Oh, sick! Right on. Shout out.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us on our very first Instagram live interview. I fuck with
that's
that.
Lottie from a cellophane recording company based in Omaha.
Love that. Love that.
We
Thank you
also
for
went we
joining
went
us.
over to her
Cover
place
camera.
in I want to say it was like September. We went over to her place in Omaha and she like filmed us playing a live set. And that's like just in her house, like just like for no audience really. It's on YouTube. It's pretty sick.
Very sick. Very sick. Okay. What do you want to have accomplished as a band before its musical career ends? Is there a certain festival or a goal, maybe even just a venue you want to play before it's like before they call it a day as a group or
I just really want to play like the West Coast. I really want to see what's up in like Portland and Seattle and like the Bay. We got homies and bands in those places. Like we've played with like the names of our friends and that would be cool to play with them in Portland. Or we'd like to play with like Love Spiral again. They were sick. They're out of Bay Area. Um, I want to and I know we'll set that up at some point and Viggy said he'd help. Shout out Viggy. Really like it would be
Maggie's a
cool to
goat
just
for
play
sure.
like yeah, it would be cool to play, you know, any of the like numerous like bigger Screamo fests.
For sure.
Like
So many, man.
I don't know if we'll ever be big enough to play like ZVR, but like and I don't know what it looks like for traveling internationally as a trans person. So like, you know, maybe New Friends Fest may or may not be a thing, but like, you know, any of those fests would be really cool to play. I really want to like I don't know. I don't have like huge dreams for the like my dreams don't go that big. I don't want to like I'm not trying to like play Coachella or
You're
something.
not like you're not like I want to get to Japan or whatever. You're like I just want to like get to Seattle would be cool. Like
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I
Someone in the
want to
chat
have
saying they can help with Seattle, so that's cool.
yeah, that's actually sick. Um
Yeah, right. That's very cool.
I
Okay, well the EP is
definitely
very
want to
promising. I
do
mean,
it.
that's
Yeah.
that's why I have you on today because I'm a huge fan and I want to be able to do more podcasts for bands, but it just it's a lot of production and shit. So I found a little sneaky way to do it without doing way too much production. Speaking of your music, you got any new music you want to plug? Any shows coming up? Anything at all you want to promote? This would be the space for it.
Yeah, so we're playing we have two shows this month. April 24th, we're playing at Gabe's in Iowa City with Usurp Synapse, Missouri Executive Order 44, and Boot Camp. And then April 29th, where we got asked to open for Versus Self in Des Moines, so that's sick. Um, and then
Huge.
we do have an upcoming tour with a certain band from Texas, and I can't quite say more, but that should be announced like very soon, like in the next like hopefully week.
Very exciting. Very
Um,
exciting. I can take a guess.
you
Texas is
could
popping off though. There's quite a
there's a
few
lot of
screamo bands in Texas now.
well, I don't the band we're touring with not quite Screamo.
That's who I thought it was. Adjacent. Right on
Oh,
the uh-huh. Big fan of this band that cannot be mentioned.
I like
I am.
you have plausible deniability is the thing.
Hmm. I do. I do.
Like
Yes.
if
Yes,
if
yes.
you're guessing the wrong band, like no one will know. I'm gonna make you tell me after what you think
I'm
it
going
is.
to. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely going to, and I bet you I'm right. I'm 98% sure that I'm right, but
But we're playing with like a lot of like homies on this tour and just like a lot of cool spots. It's a Midwest tour, and it'll be next
sick.
month, and it'll be announced soon. Let's
Very
see
cool.
what else we're playing. We'll probably play Pokies Fest in June. That's the like local like punk scene fest put on by my bandmate in PSYOP, Dolly. She's cool. Um, what
Well,
else
that's
we got coming up?
cool.
We have a single dropping soon as part of a compilation for the local college radio station. Um,
Interesting that your local college radio station wants a screamo track.
Glab, our bassist, is actually like a part of the radio station,
Very cool. Very cool. That's
and
cool.
that one's like basically a minute flat long. It's like really short. It's mixed meter. Um, It's really
That's sick.
frantic, like emo violence type stuff. We've played it live a
Hell
few
yeah.
times, but
Nice. Nice.
I can
Well,
probably I can probably get away with leaking you that track after this interview.
ooh, I would love to hear that. That is the perks of doing this is I get to hear some music
Hmm.
first, which is really nice. I do appreciate that. Um, I don't know how much time we have, so we'll get this out of the way quickly. Um, just in case the alarm goes off. I don't want to miss anything. Where can people find your band online? Obviously, I'm going to tag you in the post and everything, but
Yeah, we're on Instagram. Uh, This World Is Not Kind. We're on Twitter at TWINK Screamo. We're on Bandcamp. We're on Spotify streaming and such. We also our tape is available online from RIP and Peace Records. Um, uh, All of Death was all of our music so far has been recorded and mixed by Tyler Seek at RIP and Peace Records. We call him Screamo Tyler. Um, so yeah, please buy our tape from him.
absolutely. Physicals available apparently still, so grab some while you can. What did I have here left on my lovely, lovely questions list? If someone was going to check out your band, since I'm not playing songs on this new series, what song would you want them to start with?
I mean, I think The Ghost of You.
I'd have to
That
agree,
one's
personally.
partially just
I'd
because I
have to
want to
agree.
like if someone's like, oh, I'm gonna check out your band for one song. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make you listen to us for 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Really strap in.
And the
As
first
a guy
three
who
minutes,
hates
it's not
long
even
songs,
screaming. Like,
yeah, as a guy who hates long songs, I fucking love that song. Which is crazy because I don't like longer songs by any means. I can't usually pay attention to it.
yeah,
Or it's
you
just
got to
like,
see
okay,
us
it's too long.
live. You got to catch
Well,
us
that's the thing. Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that
Come to
song is
Brazil.
like probably the funnest. Yeah, we'll come. We're coming to Brazil. That song is probably the funnest to play live. That or Traders because the I don't believe in ghosts part at the end is like we don't use mics for that part. We scream that all on mic and like
Very
it's
cool.
like me and
Okay. I
Jackie and Glab like all screaming and like
was gonna say is multiple vocals on that, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sick. Very sick, very sick. Um, okay, well, we still got some time. This went quicker than I thought it would be. I'm gonna have to jam more questions into my list. But thank you for being the trial for the first episode here on the mini series. I super appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um, I guess I'll hit you with one of the popular questions we always ask on the full length podcast. If you could punch anyone in the face one time with no repercussions, would you punch anyone? If so, why?
Yeah. Let's see.
You
First
don't
of all,
have to take the punch.
I would not waste this opportunity. This is not an opportunity
Okay.
I would personally waste.
Fuck yeah. That's what I like. Okay.
Uh, Probably the person that the song Traders is about.
It's a good pick. Okay. Yeah. Zero
um,
repercussions. So you get to just knock them.
there's, I think, like Elon Musk is like the obvious funny choice,
Mm,
but like I don't know. That's like almost kind of boring answer. Um,
it's an easy one, though.
it's an easy one.
It's a popular one
Um,
for sure. Okay. What about music you listen to that you or others could consider a guilty pleasure? Any cringy pop music in your like I listen to Weezer and people think that's cringy, but I fuck with
oh, I
Weezer.
mean, like I'm not really ashamed about it. Like I'll post it on my 5x5s and such. But I love like Justin Bieber and One Direction.
All right.
Uh, Cobra Starship is like one of my favorite bands. I love Cobra Starship so much.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
That's
kind of I'm kind of what you'd call a poptimist. Like it's not really they're not really guilty
Optimist?
pleasures. Poptimist, yeah. Like I listen to a lot of like
That's
Charlie
hilarious.
XCX, like Lady Gaga, Lord. Like I like almost more than I listen to heavy music. I listen to like gay girly pop, like Pride Month type playlist bullshit. Like I love that shit.
Optimist. I've never heard that.
Hmm.
Not much of a pop fan myself. I mean, I did some of it, but not enough to know these cool kid terms, I guess. That's
Yeah,
fucking
poptimist
hilarious.
is basically just what you call it when like you're like part of like a subculture where people expect you to be ashamed of liking pop music, but you're not. Like like mainstream Taylor Swift fans don't call themselves poptimists generally, but like that was like the term that people always used. Like that came like in like the 2010s or whatever. Like if you were like kind of like a post hipster type person, but you liked fucking Britney Spears or whatever, like you'd call yourself a poptimist. Like, and I do love Britney Spears.
Excellent. Excellent. I just checked. We're at a minute and 35 seconds. But by checking, I fucking fucked up the recording on the Instagram. Sorry. I'm gonna have to find a way to do that better in the second episode. Thank you so much, Laela, again for coming to join us today and chat for the very first Not Just a Phase 30 minutes or less. You have any final words, shout outs, plugs, causes, anything you'd like to say to the listeners? The floor is
Yeah,
yours, the mic's yours.
shout out Thought Crime. They're my fucking homies, and
RIP. RIP.
they have a few shows left, but
Do they? Oh, okay,
they do
okay.
have a few shows left. They're gonna stop, but they're reaching the end of their musical career. Those girls are good friends of mine, and I've really enjoyed like playing shows with them and seeing them play and all of that. I love their music and I love them as people, and I'm really excited to see what they do next. Yeah, shout out Thought Crime.
Look, yeah, I've had Thought Crime on the podcast way back. I think it's season one, even. So Thought Crime forever.
Thought
Fucking
Crime forever.
fantastic band. Cybergrind, Cybergrind goats for
And while we're at
sure.
it, Riot Nine forever.
True, true. Nice, nice. Awesome. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna wrap it. Thank you again so much for coming to chat. I'm super excited to see the future of your band and where y'all are headed and what's coming up. And I'm a big fan of the EP. So for everyone who's listening, this camera, that camera, whatever the fuck I'm looking at here, go check out This World Is Not Kind. Their first EP release is called Death. It is fucking amazing. It is streaming everywhere. Oh, can you hear the alarm?
No, I can't, but
Oh, okay, I could hear it. That was the alarm. Fuck it. 30 minutes or less. Thank you so much.
thank
That's
you.
it. We're chatting. So
It's okay. There were a couple
the
things that kind of should have stayed off the record anyway.
yeah, that's true. But this is 30 minutes or more if you're watching on the Patreon or whatever.
Yeah, you
Just go
can
the
keep
next
rolling.
minute
That's
while we're
fine.
shooting this
That's
shit.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we literally just hit 30 minutes. But yeah, thank you. I know this is your first time chatting about the band, and I know I've done podcasts, obviously, about 100 some odd. But this is the first episode of 30 minutes or less. Very first time I've done a live interview, which is cool seeing people in the chat, like shouting out, listening to our chat. It's very, very cool. Very fun. I feel weird seeing my face on my Instagram page right now, especially at that horrible angle. Fuck,
Yeah,
that
the
is
angle. I
zoomed
was
in.
just like looking at the computer the whole time. So like the
Yeah, my
Instagram
zoom
angle was
angle looks
like
okay, I guess, but the Instagram angle, it's like right up in my fucking grill. I gotta find a better way to do that. Wow,
I gotta unpin this.
painful, painful. Fuck it, is what it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, 30
Is
minutes
there
or more. Thanks
anything
for.
else I wanted to talk about? Oh, like I suppose I could talk about the trumpet specifically, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah. We
kind of
didn't talk
something that
anything
our
about
band
that. We'll do
has.
that for the bonus here.
That
We'll do that one last question here. So
yeah,
you play trumpet on the record. You want to tell
I
me about
do.
that?
I do play trumpet on the record. I also have been known to bust it out at some of our live shows. I I played trumpet in like jazz band all throughout like high school and like marching band and stuff. But like jazz was always like my passion. In college, I always did jazz band. I ended up that's for a while when I was in college. I ended up ultimately dropping out. I did not graduate, but I was studying trumpet like as a major, like trumpet performance music major with like a emphasis on jazz. And that was a long time ago. I'm 29 years old, but like uh, I hadn't really done anything serious with trumpet for like several years, and I started this band. I'm like, yeah, no, we're using trumpet. Like, um, we have
Massive
a
fan.
song we are writing right now that will eventually be. We haven't even played it live yet, but there's like we tweeted about it a little bit. There's going to be another song with trumpet, and I think it's going to be. The song honestly does have a lot in common with The Ghost of You. There are things that are quite different about it, but like it is if you like The Ghost of
Like
You,
a
you will
part
like
two,
this.
kind of like a
No,
continuation, you
it's not.
feel,
It's
or
not.
no,
It's
it's just a
not that.
similar style?
Definitely not like yeah. It's just a similar style. It's not at all a spiritual successor or anything. It's about a completely different topic. It's um
Yeah,
It's actually like a song about how it's basically a song about the necessity of revolution. But
we need something,
that's yeah,
to say the
but
least.
it's a I think
Yeah,
you'll but it has this kind of similar start to it where it's like it starts off with some like pretty like guitar parts with like some trumpet going over them and like in
very
that regard it's
serene.
a similar song. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
It's
it another
definitely
6 minute banger or what?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's long.
yeah.
It's long. It's another 6 minute banger. I
Right.
think I'm really stoked on that one.
Me too.
I think I really like I do think it is something that like sets us apart as a band is that like a lot of even when bands have trumpets on the recordings, they don't usually have them at their live shows. Um,
Right. Yeah.
like
You actually bring the horn to the show.
yeah,
That's
like
very cool.
I'm bringing the horn on tour.
Very
I don't
sick. Very
we don't
sick.
always play. We have a shortened version of the Ghost of You that like cuts out most of the
Ooh.
intro and just because like a lot of times we're playing like punk basement shows and you don't really want to pay like a 25-minute long set as like a local opener for those. Like that's kind of
No, that makes perfect sense.
not
Yeah.
the vibe. So like we have a
So
like
there's a
when
condensed
we
version of The Ghost of You. I didn't know that.
yeah, when we don't want to play when we the condensed version is just like a couple times through the guitar intro or whatever and it just like where like before the trumpet would come in it just like cuts and it just like comes skips to the next section. It's fine. It's because like honestly like at our live shows the part of that song that really gets people hype is like the quiet part where I'm screaming I don't believe in ghosts without a mic like it's really repetitive and people like it's one of those songs where like even for people who aren't normally good at picking up on screamed lyrics like most people who've gotten to a couple shows like
Clear.
know the words to that part and will like scream it back to us so like
That's probably a crazy feeling.
so like it is a crazy feeling and like so we want to
Oh
squeeze
yeah.
that song in sometimes when we don't really have like room for a 7 minute song in our set.
True. No, I get that. I get that. That makes perfect sense. That's very cool.
And I
Very
think
cool.
we're actually I kind of maybe like once, but for the most part, like on our next tour, we're probably actually not going to be playing that song. Um, just
Well,
because, but we are going to play a lot of new stuff, so it'll be okay. People will live.
very exciting.
We
For
have
fans who are still listening, who are a fan of trumpets and horns, just recently made a playlist you can find on Spotify called Horny and Emotional. Um, there's a lot of emo and screamo with trumpets, French horns, trombones, that good stuff. And it's very cool. It is very cool. And Layla, again, I super appreciate you coming to chat and being the first of this mini series that I hope pops off. We'll see. But it was fun whether it pops off or not. I'm not doing it for that shit. You know what I mean? It's just it was cool
yeah,
to chat about your band. And again, seriously, when the album comes out, hit me up. Let me debut a song. Let me interview the band again. Let's do this bigger and better next time. I would absolutely love to chat again. So thank you so much for
yes,
coming to chat.
yeah. Thank you so much for having me.